Today is April 27th. The West Coast trip is over. Some good, some bad, and certainly some ugly. 3-3 overall, but could it have been better? Possibly. Let's get into it. You're listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Good evening, Ins guys. Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates and at. My name is Jake, and tonight we're joined by one of our good friends, Jim Rosati from NS9. What's up, Jim?
What's going on, Jake? Thanks for having me on tonight.
Yeah, see, you're pulling some double duty, but like you said, it's fun, right?
Always a blast to talk about these Buccos, Jake.
It's never dull, right?
Never. And they always leave you with enough stuff to talk about too.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Josh has been down for the count this week due to some bronchitis and laryngitis. So, did you actually get a haircut?
Yeah, I was thinking about dyeing my beard for this and just like making it all red, but
That's funny. That's funny. I do want to go a little bit briefly over the first leg of the trip in Anaheim. First off, like we're heading out to the West Coast. We're taking on a dare I say mediocre. Like they're not bad. They're not good. Anaheim Angels or Los Angeles of Anaheim Angels. Sorry. And then the behemoth that is the Dodgers. But we start off in Anaheim, and really, did anything really jump out to you on during this series, Jim?
there were a few things. One, David Bednar came back, looked good, I thought. There was the excellent start from Andrew Heaney.
That was insane.
You had the questionable decisions with the Carmen Mlodzinski start. And then also Mike Trout. The Pirates own Mike Trout, Jake, which is the most weird thing in the world. The dude's homered against 28 other teams, and the only two teams he hasn't homered against are the Angels and the Pirates. And his OPS is like below 400 now against the Pirates. Like, it's insane how much we own Mike Trout.
Yeah. Which, one of the best to ever play, right? Like, arguably, I should start that with arguably one of the best to ever play. Yeah, it is crazy. And Heaney starting off the way he started off that game, what was it, his first 6? Or was it 7?
I think he struck out the first 6. Yeah.
First 6, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just wild. And then the first hit he gives up was Travis d'Arnaud just being a savvy vet, sticking the barrel of the bat, just poking it down the line. But yeah, definitely some fun games out there. Good games. You have the offensive route in game 1. You have, let's give it up for Matt Gorski. First career at bat, first career home run. Like, you love to see that. 4, I think they said on the telecast today, 4 Pirates have done that. So
I know it hasn't been done since Marte. He was the last one to do it. Yeah.
I think I saw somebody even say, I forget who tweeted it. Somebody was like, it was a fun and interesting game to watch, even though you had Kevin Young on the broadcast.
Kevin Young on the late night games. It's and you know what? I love Kevin Young's insight. Like, I think he's a really good analyst. It's just his voice is so soothing. Just like, it's like a lullaby. So like, I always need to
at night.
Yeah. I got to pound caffeine on those West Coast games, or I'm not making it.
Yeah, I feel that. O'Neal Cruz kind of got his, I guess his hot streak started, and he got to start a little bit before that, but really took off in Anaheim. The leadoff homer against Tyler Anderson, who's having a really good season to this point, and was second pitch he saw just blasted it. Then he had the fifth or sixth inning home run. The game before that, that was hit like 460 some feet.
Oh, I mean, he is locked in right now, and you can just tell,
Uh,
especially with like the breaking stuff when pitchers are they're trying to get him to chase a little bit, and he's just spitting on the pitches. I don't know if I've ever seen him in a stretch like this before, where he's just this dialed in.
yeah. I think I looked it up. I don't still have it pulled up, but I looked on Baseball Savant, and I think he has 4 home runs off of a fastball, 3 off the breaking stuff, and 1 off an off-speed pitch or something like that. Like, he's just sitting on them, man. He's punishing mistakes, which is what you're supposed to do as a good major league power hitter. I
And I
think
don't know
that's
about
fair enough
you,
to
but
say.
and I don't know about you, but like I think the move to the leadoff spot like really helped him because especially that first at bat of the game, the pitcher has to come to you. And a lot of times
Yeah.
the pitcher is trying to like get ahead quick. So like they're trying to just get that strike one like right off the bat. And what you're noticing is Cruz is like sitting on that. He's waiting for them to give them that easy strike one, and he's destroying the baseball. Four leadoff homers already this month, and I want to say
Yeah.
2
2
came
on this
this
trip.
week. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think the move to the leadoff spot has been just really good in that pitchers are now pitching him a little bit different because they have to, and
Mhm.
he's understanding that, and he's being a lot more aggressive early on in the counts. And so when pitchers are trying to get that strike one over, like he's making them pay for it. He is all over those pitches right off the bat.
He is, but Jim, he's still getting walked too. Like, he's still being patient enough.
Mhm.
It's he's got a really nice balance right now with between aggressive and passive. Like, he's just seeing the ball so well right now. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, his chase rate is way down from last year. Yeah, you just love to see what you're what you're seeing at. Like he is looking like a superstar is what he's
He's
looking
looking
like.
like exactly what we were all hoping he'd blossom into. We were just hoping it'd be a little sooner, right? Don't care
Yeah.
anymore. It's
Yeah.
coming.
He
It's here.
Yep. That's what he looks like.
Um,
I mean, the numbers like the stolen bases too to go along with 8 home runs, 12 stolen bases. He's on pace for 30 something homers, uh 60 something stolen bases. Like there is a very short list of players who've ever done that. I think the list for
yeah.
30-50 is just Otani, Acuna, Bonds, and Eric Davis. That's the list. That's it. And if Cruz slows down, like he's gonna do that. Like he's well pacing over that mark. So it's really
Yeah.
incredible to see. Like, I mean, he's putting together an MVP caliber offensive season. Now,
Yes,
defensively is
without
a
a
different
doubt.
story. But like offensively, just
But he's getting
an
better.
unreal year. He
He's
is.
getting
I
a little bit
agree.
better in the outfield. There was one play where I was kind of just on this trip, right? There was one play where I was really like, think you could have made that play. I forget who had hit it. It was a little blooper. It fell in front of him. He let it drop a few feet in front of him. I'm like, if you were running, man, you could have slid and caught that or something. Like, but either way, uh, it's so fun to watch right now. And he's making better throw decisions too. He's not just coming up firing and using that arm, which is it's really nice to see. He's not giving up extra bases.
He looks more controlled out there,
Yeah. Yeah,
which
for
which
sure.
can be a good thing and a bad thing. Like it's good that he hasn't really made a mistake recently. But also what can make him so special sometimes is like, going all out, being aggressive and like you mentioned, there was one play in particular where I think the old O'Neal Cruz would have just gone for it. And the new one
Yeah.
was a little bit hesitant, like, I'm gonna just let this drop in for a single as opposed to risking, a triple. Um,
Yeah.
so there's good and bad with it.
Yeah. And I'm so if for you guys who don't know, Josh is behind the scenes. He's producing this whole thing. Um, So he's got the buttons working. He's got it all going on right now. But you're exactly right, Josh. I mean, it would be really nice to just see him hose somebody at home, though. When he does finally, he's got it all going, and he decides to go ahead and let one rip. It's going to be special. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. He's throwing the ball harder than anyone else in baseball right now. His average arm strength is 96. He's throwing the ball like 96 miles per hour, like on average.
That's stupid.
So, like, but yeah, he's throwing it harder than any other fielder on the field in any position. So yeah, you do want to see him just like unload on a runner at some point, and he hasn't really gotten that chance. I thought he did do a good job today, in particular, on a ball in left center field with runners on second and third. Pham was kind of camped under it, but Cruz was like, "Nope, let me take this because my arm's better than yours." So he gets it and he keeps the runner from moving from second to third. So that was a really good play from him, and something that you may not have seen him do 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So the progression is definitely there. He's average. So like, I'm glad you brought the 96 up because he's averaging 96. He's got 30 hits this year. Not necessarily. I shouldn't say hits. He's hit the ball 30 times over 100 miles an hour. That's stupid.
It's insane. It's insane.
That ball the ball he hit to end the game that he hit to Mike Trout was like 119.
Yep.
And he was mad about it. I'm like, you literally, you can't be mad. I mean, I understand why you're mad because you're a competitor and the game's over now. But you did your job. You hit the ball 120 miles an hour, basically.
Yeah, he killed that
Can't
ball.
fault you.
It just unfortunately was too close to the outfielder there. I think that was Trout out there when he did that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But he's been locked in. I've never seen him look this good at the plate before. And he's not really showing any signs of slowing down. And I think it's just like the approach is different. He's lifting the ball more. So he's still hitting the ball just as hard, but he's lifting it more. And so that's where we're now seeing the power numbers go up. Because before it was like, man, if he could just hit the ball in the air a little bit more, because he'd be hitting these 118, 119 mile an hour singles, just peppering it off the surf side wall out there and right. But now those balls are going over the fence. So yeah, it's just really fun to watch him play right now.
Yeah, for sure. Random question here. You got Adam Frazier. I heard you talk a little bit about this on NS9 earlier, but he's got the hitting streak going on. But that ball that dropped in the 9th inning, the game we lost, are you putting him on the bench for a game for that? For not running? For not getting a second? Because it's not like he's not scorching the ball to get this hitting streak.
Yeah.
Do you give Triolo a start at second base or something?
I probably am. Yeah. I mean, I guess
just to prove a point. Accountability,
that's a tough decision. It's a tough decision
Shelton?
because then it's like, do you then bench Cruz every time he does something that isn't fundamentally sound, or like if
Cruz isn't a savvy
Cruz
vet.
hits a ball, if Cruz hits the ball off of the fence and he should have been on third, but because he wasn't running, it's only a double. Like, are you benching Cruz? No, I don't think you can do that. Now, Frazier isn't the same caliber player as Cruz. I don't know. I think Frazier knows he probably messed up there. It's a tough call to make.
Yeah.
There's not really a drop off going from Frazier to Triolo. I mean, neither of them really can hit. So
yeah.
I mean, but
it's just the thing. It's just the thing that I think it was Sherrington, the talking about accountability across the organization. Sometimes we just don't see it. But whatever. I mean, it was just something fun to ask you.
Yeah. I'm okay with either. He knows he messed up.
Yeah. Josh says you just don't bench guys in the big leagues for one play. If it's something that keeps happening, maybe. Tell Acuna Jr. that.
Well, I think, too, it depends on the play. It depends on the circumstance. And it depends on the player, too.
I'll be honest. I don't know anybody who actually runs that to second.
I don't know. I do.
It's
I mean, I think most people, I think 50-50, you're on second.
that's fair. Bobby Witt Jr. does. Yeah. Um, Listen, I don't take a lot of notes all the time. Josh does all this. And so I took a bunch of notes. And now I'm getting lost. So let's jump into Papalski's start. We take 2 out of 3 against the Angels, which I didn't expect, but I was hopeful for. They're playing decent ball right now, but to take 2 out of 3, even though we let that last one get away, I can live with that. We go to the Dodgers, and I think we're all thinking we're going to go 2-4 on this road trip. Could go 2-4 on this road trip very easily. But you got Paul Skeens going game 1. Lights are bright. And here's my first question for you, Jim. He shows up, obviously, 6 1/3, 5 hits, no runs, 9 Ks. It's the Friday night game on MLB Network. Does that matter to you? Is that important at all?
I don't know if it's important that like if it's a Friday night game on MLB Network. I think what is important is like there were eyeballs on this game watching Skeens, Yamamoto. This was the game everybody was watching that night. There was hype leading up to it. You had the 2 best arms, in the National League, arguably going head to head. So the fact that he came, I'm more impressed with how he just responded to the Dodgers lineup than just like a head-to-head matchup with Yamamoto. Because I mean, this is the best lineup that you're going to face. It's
Top to
peppered
bottom, yeah.
with, there's at least 3 Hall of Famers in this lineup, maybe 4, depending on how like Will Smith's career continues. I mean, he's one of the best catchers in baseball. So it's
Yeah.
like this is a really, really good lineup that he's facing, and he dominated him. Like he said, he showed up in front of a sold out Dodger Stadium, national TV, and it was just an outstanding start. So I don't think it mattered to him though. Like I don't know if that's going through his mind where it's like, you know what, I need to really buckle down and show up here. I don't think he cares if he's facing the Dodgers or if he's facing the Harrisburg Senators, like in a double A rehab game. Like I think he's going to do the exact same thing no matter who he's facing, no matter what day it is, no matter where he's at, no matter who the opposing pitcher is, no matter what the moment is. I think he's like that locked into just doing his job that it doesn't matter to him.
Yeah. I thought it was a little important just for the fact that not necessarily MLB Network, right? It's national. Everyone's eyes are on. And we played a solid game. We actually played behind Paul Skeens. We played well. We played as a team. It was just a breath of fresh air for me because I've seen so many times where we get a national game and it's just like we just lay an egg, right? But you get Paul Skeens out there who is just shoving, and then the questionable call of the game for me was sending him back out for the 7th. But he said before the season started, I'm here to pitch. And they said, we're taking the reins off. Like, no safety net thing here. We're letting him go. And they actually proved that Friday night. And I'm not questioning it as in like, would I have done that? Because I would have let him go out. But just Derek Shelton saying, you got one hitter and that's it, no matter what. Feel like he probably could have got through the 7th inning, Jim. I'm not gonna lie. He was feeling it. But that's the questionable part, right? Do you let him go out for that? Do you let him try to keep going? I don't know.
Yeah, I think in that instance, he went out to face Will Smith.
Yeah.
And then it was Conforto and Muncy coming in after him. So I thought he was done after finishing that 6th inning, and then when he came back out for the 7th, I was like, oh wow! And you look to see like who was due up, and it was like this kind of makes sense. Maybe back in pre 2020 or whenever the rule changed, you're like, you maybe don't do this because you can bring a righty in and then you can just bring a lefty in. But the fact that like the three batter rule now exists, do you want a lefty facing Will Smith? Probably not. Do you want
Right.
lefties facing Conforto and Muncy? Probably. So it made sense in the situation to just say, hey, you know what? You're in the game right now. Yeah, you've thrown 103 pitches, I think it was at that point. But go out there and get Will Smith. That's all you got to do. Just focus on Will Smith. You don't have to do anything else. Get Will Smith, and then you're done. So that was, I thought it was the right call. I think it's
Mhm.
something. I think I would have done the same, and it ended up working out just perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. When I saw, I think it was Pitching Ninja or somebody tweeted a video overlay showing his pitches. Like, I think it was like 9 of them. So they came
Yeah,
out at the exact same spot. Like, good luck, MLB.
it's and when I saw that overlay, I was just like, "How can anyone possibly hit this guy?"
Yeah, I think it was Sean Casey on MLB Network. He's like, "You can't game plan for that. There's no game plan. It's a guess."
Well, it's he has so many good pitches that he can locate and use at any count at any time. Like you got to gear up for 98, 99. Like you have to. And
Yeah.
then once you think it's a fastball, he throws this splinker that's like 95 and it darts down 5 inches and you have no shot. You have no shot of hitting that thing if you're looking at if you're looking fastball. And then if you're not looking
He hit
fastball and he throws you a fastball, you have no shot of hitting the fast. Like his arsenal is deep. He throws 7 different pitches and they're
Yeah.
all really good. I've never seen a pitcher throw this many pitches like this good. Cause like you see guys like Darvish where like Darvish will throw like I don't know, Darvish was what like 12 pitches or whatever. But like he doesn't really throw 12 pitches, but like Skeens is throwing 7 different pitches 5% of the time or more. Like he mixes them up all pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, be aggressive early with Skeens, and that's literally things that I've seen people talking about. Is his strikeouts are down just a tiny bit. I mean, obviously Friday night he had 9, but
Maybe, but
yeah. Um, but he's had some starts where he's had like what 4, 5 Ks, and that's exactly what if you get to 2 strikes, you're done. So people are trying to put the ball in play earlier in the count, and if you don't, good luck. I don't know.
yeah,
It's why it's so fun to watch.
he's he's the best pitcher I've ever seen. Like which is just crazy to say that he's only like he's 20. He hasn't turned 23 yet.
Uh-uh.
And it's like I was saying this last year. I was just like he's the best pitcher I've ever seen. And I was saying this like at start 3. I'm like I've
Yeah.
never seen anybody this good.
Yeah.
And it was really this the splinker has changed it all.
He hit
Like
97 with the splinker the Friday
yeah,
night. 97.
it's stupid. It's stupid. I couldn't even imagine
Wild.
seeing what that pitch looks like.
Yeah.
Like if you're in the batter's box and you're like, all right, I'm sitting fastball, thinking 99's coming down the middle, and all of a sudden this 97-mile-an-hour monster of a
Oh.
pitch that you've never seen before. He just invented out of the blue, just like dives down at your feet, and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah. So we get through the skiing stuff, right? And you see Santana coming out for the 8th. I was driving home. Okay, I'm gonna admit something on here. I was driving home from work and I had it on my phone on my dashboard, and I saw Santana coming out, and I'm like, wait, what? I was like, there's only one other option that could be throwing the 9th. Are they already gonna give the closer role back to Bednar after 2 straight solid outings and 1 good outing? And sure enough, that's what they did. But
That's what they did.
however, you look at it in hindsight, Jim, and you had Santana throw against Pages, Otani, Betts, and then eventually Freeman because which one of them? Pages got on, I
Well, they
think.
couldn't get Pajes out all series. Yeah,
No.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pajes
Yeah, it was definitely
got on base.
that's wild enough as it is. He had 11 hits in the
I
series?
think it was 11 for 13. Yeah, after
11 for
Schubert
13.
got him. Yep.
Triolo doesn't have 11 hits this season. He has like 6, 7, something like that. Like, that's how crazy of a series that was. His batting average jumped 100 points.
Yeah.
But so you had Santana actually throw against basically 1, 2, 3. And then you have Bednar throw against the meat. So I don't know. Did Derek Shelton kind of sneaky you do a good move there? Like saying, let's get Santana the most difficult part in the 8th inning and let Bednar throw against another difficult, albeit, but a little less difficult in the 9th.
Yeah. I mean, if you're of the mindset where like you really shouldn't have a closer, like a designated closer, you should just pitch your best pitchers in the biggest situations. The situation in the bottom of the 8th was bigger. I mean, if you're in the
Yeah.
9th inning and you're up by 3 runs, that's not really a super high leverage situation because odds are, I mean, your win probability at that point's what, 97%. You're up by 3 with 3
Probably
outs to
something like
go,
that.
but in the 8th inning, it's a little bit lower, especially when you're facing Otani, Betts, Freeman. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's it just makes me frustrated because I feel like this whole week, the Pirates, they played good baseball for most of the week. And for most of the week, I thought Derek Shelton pulled some good strings, like at times, and that was clearly one of them. I mean, yeah, you look at it, and that worked out. And I mean, clearly it worked out, and that was the plan going in, and it worked. He used his best
Yeah.
pitcher against their best hitters, and it worked. But then he does things in other games where you're just like Derek, what are you doing? Um, but no, that one worked out.
We'll get
Yeah.
there. But honestly, just speaking on Bednar's behalf, it did feel pretty good. Bednar locating the curveball at the bottom of the zone and blowing a fastball by some guys made me feel good. It made me feel like old Bednar might just be back if, big if there, he continues to locate that curveball.
Yeah. I mean, that was the problem. The fastball, I feel like, has always been good. He didn't really lose it. I don't know if he was locating it in the greatest locations, but no, it doesn't matter how good your fastball is if you have nothing else to play off of it. And then you kind of saw
Exactly.
that today with Bailey Falter. Like Bailey Falter's off speed stuff today was atrocious, right? And so it didn't matter how good his fastball was; he was going to get shelled. Um, and that's what's been happening with Bednar. Just that curveball. If he can't throw that curveball for a strike and locate it at the bottom of the zone, you can just not swing at it and
Yeah.
just sit on the fastball. And that's what
Just
people have
sit
been doing.
fastball.
So yeah, so it's been refreshing to see. Like he's looked good since coming back. I
Yeah.
didn't really get to watch him a lot during his AAA time, but he has looked good so far.
Yeah. I'm excited because Josh and I are big fans of Bednar and
Huge fans. Yeah.
always just rooting for the best. Whether or not he's on our team, I'm probably going to be rooting for Bednar wherever he ends up if he doesn't stay a Pirate forever.
Well, and this team needs him too. Like the team needs him to be
Yes.
back to vintage Bednar. So yeah, like rooting for David Bednar more than just about anyone else on this team. Yeah.
So after game 1, the only question I had for Shelton was, where was Gorski at? Because you bring him into the lineup, you bring him up, and you play him day 1. Number 1, he's just obliterating the baseball in AAA, just scorching the ball. So this dude is hot. You bring him up, which he's done at almost every single level he's ever played. First at bat, hits a bomb. I want him in my lineup. I don't need Tommy Pham anymore. I've seen enough of Tommy Scam.
You don't need Tommy Pham anymore?
I don't need to see anymore, man. I can't. When's the suspension? Can we extend it? Can we get a couple more games?
Right. Yeah, that was interesting because he comes up, he hits the homer, and then he doesn't play for 3 games. He still hasn't started yet. Was at least got in as a pinch hit appearance in today's game, but
Yeah.
I feel like they're kind of just gonna use him in that, like, he's gonna be a platoon bat. He's gonna start against lefties, and that's all.
Yeah. Which is it's fine, but there are times when I ride the hot hand. Give Tommy Pham a few days off. I mean, he's had a major league career. I'm not going to say how good it or bad it was. Um, he's had a career, so a few days off might get him a little reset, and he might be somewhat serviceable to us. If he's going to be here, I'm kind of want him to be a little serviceable,
Mhm.
no matter how much I like or dislike him. Um, Personally, I'd just rather see him not on this team, but at least give him a few days off and just let Gorski play. Who, honestly, like Gorski's a nice story, right? I don't think he's gonna be a big leaguer for a long. I just don't see it. But he's hot right now, so I want to play him. Get what you can out of him.
Yeah. Um, I mean, you just kind of hope that you can get like a little John Nagowski type 2 or 3 week run out of him. That's kind of your hope
Exactly.
with Matt Gorski, because yeah, you look at like hitters with his profile historically, they don't have long-term sustained success in Major League Baseball. But when you can hit the ball as far and as hard as he can, if you get hot, like remember Aristides Aquino? Remember that guy? He like the Reds called him
Vaguely.
up. Reds called him up,
Yes.
and he had
Yes.
like a 25 or 30 game stretch where he hit like 15 homers, and then he hit like 120 the rest of his career, and you know got DFA'd 4 different times. But like we need Matt Gorski to be our Aristides Aquino. That's what we
Yeah.
need.
And I'll take it.
Mm.
Absolutely take that. We need any power. We need any more power that we can get. Not just O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah, no,
Which
I'm with you.
which we saw a little bit today. Kutch and Valdez back to back today. It was nice to see. Valdez is sneaky good. Like he's sneaky staying in this lineup, and kind of one of those guys that might be playing just a tick above his potential, maybe because he's another one of those guys where I don't know that he has a long career, or he does, and it's just like a bench role guy. Like he's just a secondary player, which is fine too.
Yeah, I think ultimately he's a bench bat,
Yeah.
and I think it's because like he's a competent hitter. And
Mhm.
you look at his at bats, even before this little mini hot streak he's gone on, he was one of the few people in the lineup who was at least giving you like a professional at bat. Like he looked like he
Yeah.
belonged in the major leagues, at least whenever he was up to bat. The problem with Valdez is like defensively, it's hard to put him anywhere other than first. Like
Yeah.
I mean, second base, I don't know if I don't feel comfortable with him at second base at all. And the bat is fine, but it's not good enough to make up for like dreadful infield play, right? So
Yeah.
like like Josh brings up here, like when Horwitz comes back, can he take Frazier's spot? And like I don't think he can, because like I don't want Valdez anywhere near the second base position. I think Valdez is a good bench bat who you can use in pinch hit situations, but that's like about it once Horwitz is back, because well, we've seen Valdez drop like routine throws right to his face on multiple occasions now. So, like,
Yeah.
first base, sure, whatever. Second base, I don't know. I don't know.
He I mean, he did play second base for Boston last year, and
Mhm.
uh, honestly, if it's just buying time till Nikki G gets back or until someone else can come along, I think I'm okay with it, and I'm having Frazier ready to go at all times for defense replacement by the 7th inning. Because I'll tell you what, Frazier's also going to give you a gritty at bat as a veteran late in a game. Like that's when he's going to get his bloop singles and stuff like that. And I'll take his at bat late in the game. I just don't need to see it all game. But I'll take
Yeah.
Valdez's his at bats early on and suffer through his defense. But Frazier's made some plays this year that
Yeah.
have been. I've been like, okay, I see you, old man.
Yeah. Just some quick stats here because people are in the comments saying, he was second baseman last year. Second baseman last year. Yeah, he was. -11 defensive runs saved at second base in 841 innings. That's not a lot of games. And then also -12 outs above average. So, yeah, he can technically stand in the spot where a second baseman should be positioned, but I can't really say that he can play the position because I think you put Bucko Mike at second base, he can give you -11 defensive front saved. Bucko Mike
Uh,
might give you -10.
yeah, I get all that, and I get all that just to say
Screw it.
it's just a placeholder until we can get Nicky or a real second baseman back.
Yeah.
It's just to share the at bats, right? Not necessarily share them. It's just to get our best at bat, our best offense on the field, rather than our best defense. Sometimes I think Pirates in general, the organization values defense more than offense, and sometimes there's a position or two where you can let that go.
Yeah.
And I'd be okay with it for now, at least till Nicky G gets back. 'Cause I don't know.
I mean, it would be nice to not lose the bat because the bat is at least it's average to above average right now, which you can't say that about too many people in this lineup.
Right. Bucko Mike's always firing them in here. So let's go ahead and jump over to Keller's start, which I thought was a gutsy performance. He didn't have his best stuff, but he still navigated through the same Dodgers lineup, and I thought he did a pretty good job. He gave up 2 runs.
You have 3 runs, only 2 of them were earned though.
Yes,
In
that
6
was it.
innings. Yeah.
Yeah, and 6 Ks, only 1 walk. Mitch Keller's now down below a 4 ERA, which is good to see. But
Yeah.
I guess the opposite side of the Skeens decision, you have Keller at 89 pitches, a guy who's used to going a lot of pitches. And we go ahead and decide to move on. Like,
Yep.
Jim, just bear with me for a second. If Keller goes to the 7th inning,
I'm bearing with you.
If he gets through the 7th inning, Ferguson can throw the 8th. We can skip Holderman. We can skip that out because it's just brutal. And I'm done. I texted Josh and I said DFA him. He said, "Why? He's got 3 options." I said, "Okay, well, I didn't fact check that first, but I just want him out of Pittsburgh. Ooh, he's got to go down until he can be consistent with his stuff. His stuff's good. We talked about that beforehand. His stuff is good, but if it's not consistent, or if you're throwing it right down the middle, like these hitters are gonna hit you. And I'm just tired of seeing it.
Doesn't matter how good the stuff is if the location's awful. Doesn't matter. And you bring up a good point where Keller wasn't at 90 pitches, and he had just retired Edmund Smith Conforto 1, 2, 3 in the bottom half of the 6th.
He retired 9
Pirates
straight,
take the
right?
lead. There was he gave up a run in the 5th.
Okay.
But he retired 8 straight. He retired 9 straight at one point.
I got you. Okay.
Until that Ohtani triple that Brian Reynolds kind of messed around in the corner. So there was that. But I mean, he was pitching really well. And yeah, you take him out, you put in Ferguson in that 7th, and I get like it was Muncy, Pajes, Ohtani, so you had 2 lefties there. But like you mentioned, if you go Keller there and he's able to get you through that 7th, or if he's even just able to get you a couple outs in the 7th, and then maybe you bring in Ferguson to face Otani, right? With 2
Yeah.
outs. It changes the dynamic of the game, and then you don't have to go to Holderman in the 8th. I don't think you had to go to Holderman in the 8th anyways, but, like, you
Right.
have other options to go to in that 8th inning, whereas clearly they went to Holderman. Hernandez homers on the 2nd pitch, and then he double by Edmonds, walks Smith. I mean, the guy can't get an out.
Yeah.
Can't get an out.
It's hard. As fun as it is to watch Skeens, and as fun as it is to watch sometimes when Keller doesn't have his A+ stuff, navigate through a lineup and still get through it. It's miserable to watch Colin Holderman right now. Like, it's just miserable.
Well, you feel bad for him too, because it's
Ah,
like there's clearly just something off with him. Because you
yeah,
mentioned, like, the stuff's good. Like, you can look at the stuff. He's throwing 98, 99-mile-an-hour sinkers. He's got a good sweeper. Like, it moves a ton, but it's like he's just something's off. He's not locating it, and his confidence right now has to be completely shot. Like, if
yeah,
you're Colin Holderman, you've got to be questioning your ability to get major league hitters out at this point. I mean, that's just human nature, because it
yeah,
seems like every single time you go out there, especially in a big moment, you blow it. And it's been a pattern now. It's been a repeating pattern. And you saw it yesterday when Shelton came out to go pull him. Like, he just looked like a deer in the headlights. Like, he was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. Like, he it looked like he had no answer for, like, what he was doing. And
yeah,
like I said, you feel for the guy.
yeah. Well, obviously, I feel for him, but I'm also at the same time done.
Yeah, it's Major League Baseball. Like, you got to get
Yeah,
people out. So,
yeah. You're
yeah,
paid to do a job here.
yeah.
And if you're not getting it done, this is the accountability stuff. That everyone's been talking about in the organization. We're going to hold everybody accountable. I just sometimes don't see it. Sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't. And you know, if we're willing to send Bednar to AAA, I don't understand why we're not willing to send Colin Holderman to AAA. Like,
I was
let's just do it.
shocked. I was shocked that I wasn't shocked that they activated him so quickly, because, like, if he's healthy, you've got to activate him off the IL.
Yeah,
But you can activate someone and then option them immediately. Like, you don't have to reinstate them to the 26-man roster like they did. That's the route I would have gone, because, like, he needs to go to Indianapolis and he needs to pitch there for a month and just dominate crappy 29-year-old quad A players who can't hit. Like, that's what he needs to do. He needs to go out there and just dominate hitters for a good couple weeks. Then once he figures out, all right, I can do this. Like, I'm better than these guys. Then you bring him back up. I was astounded that they reinstated him to the roster that quick.
yeah, yeah. I did hear Josh brings up here. You can also do rehab stint for like 15 to 20. I do believe it's 20 days because um
I think
we
it's even
have
longer.
now
I think it's like
Horowitz.
yeah, I think it's 30 days. Oh, it's 20
Is it
days. It's
30?
20 days. Yeah, it's 20 days.
I think it's
You're right.
20.
Yep.
Um, but we have, Horowitz has now started his rehab stint.
Oh, there we go. It's 30
So
days.
we're
for
looking at
pitchers.
we're looking at a window here. He might be back in 20 or so days. But I mean, 2 outings from Holderman that weren't very good on a rehab stint. Just go ahead and, I mean, even if he's feeling healthy, just let that rehab stint go a few more outings or something. Like I just don't feel like he was ready to come back. Healthy or not, he wasn't ready to pitch in the Major League Baseball game again. Like you
Clearly.
said, like you said, activate him and option him. He's got options. You're not going to lose him. If he figures
Yeah.
out consistency, I will welcome him back to Pittsburgh. Until then, I just would rather see him pitch in Indy.
Yeah. And like Sherrod says here, like, if you are going to bring him back, don't let him throw in the 8th inning against the Dodgers in a tie game, like on his first day. Like,
Dare I
Don't do
say
that.
Shelton being Shelton? I
Shelton
it's
being
just
Shelton.
so Shelton so Shelton's job is technically safe because he went out to a road trip where everyone was expecting 2-4 at best. Before the trip started, 2-4 at best. We come back 3-3. But was it really Derek Shelton that got us 3-3? Or was it Derek Shelton that dropped us from maybe a 4-2 trip to a 3-3?
I was going to say he was the reason they were 3-3 and not 4-2 or 5-1. Yeah. Like
It's just
today's game,
wild.
they lost. Today's game, they lost. The
Yes,
Dodgers were
yes,
better
and
than
I'm
them today.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That's baseball.
Yeah. But Thursday and Saturday, you were in a position to win both of those games, and your decisions backfired miserably.
Yeah.
And they backfired in a way that everyone saw coming. I think that's the worst part. Like, it's different if you
Yeah.
make a move and it's like, okay, this move makes sense and it just doesn't work out. Like, I understand that. But when you do things where Pirates Twitter is like, this is stupid, and then the stupid thing happens, everyone's going to be like, why did you do the dumb thing that everyone knew was going to
Yeah.
happen other than you? Like, that's the frustrating part, is like, the numbers clearly show that Carmen Mlodzinski shouldn't be facing a lineup a second time.
Yeah.
We have a large enough sample size that he shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
The numbers show that Colin Holderman shouldn't be pitching to the Dodgers in the 8th inning of a tie game on his first day back from the IL. You
Yeah.
did it anyways. So it's
This is
frustrating
fine.
just when yeah, everything's
Josh
fine.
from behind the scenes. Love it.
It's fun. It's just frustrating when the anonymous, nameless accounts on Twitter like
No
seemingly know what they're talking about more than the guys, being paid money for these decisions.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate that we actually went 500 to a point when it's just talking about Derek Shelton in general. But at the same time, on the exact same sentence, I can sit here and say that we just made it through that West Coast trip and went 3-3. I feel fine about it. I don't feel great about it, but I feel fine. We didn't embarrass ourselves miserably.
No.
We were in every game of that road trip except today's. And against the Dodgers, I'm okay not being in one of the 3 games. That's just
Yeah.
you're facing the Dodgers, who everybody
Absolutely.
thought was going to break the single season win record this year. So, I don't know. So, we put out a tweet earlier today about Shelton speaking of consistency at the beginning of the year, and I think he's finally starting to realize, or Josh and I are finally think that he's starting to realize it starts with the manager. He actually, here it is. Derek Shelton has been saying a lot over the years about consistency on offense, and I think he's starting to realize that consistency starts with the manager. And he ran out of lineup, the exact same lineup twice. I don't know if that I didn't look at it close enough to know if that exact lineup came back out, but it was very close if it wasn't. So I think we found our leadoff hitter. I don't think that should change. Reynolds has always been 2, and that won't change. I like Kutch in the 3 spot. After that, I'm still ready to see the one consistency change, and that's Pham. We need to figure that one out. But overall, I think the consistencies it was a little bit of a breath of fresh air as well.
Yep. Well, you look at the whole road trip. It was Cruz, Reynolds, Kutch, 1, 2, 3, every game of the road trip, and then Valdez was 4th every game except the Thursday game, which was against a lefty. So, and then it was Bart. Other than the games that Davis started, so like, yeah, like I he put out that same lineup pretty much the entire road trip, which that's what we've been asking for is like show like the players need some consistency too. The fact
Yes.
that McCutcheon played all 6 games too, that's impressive. I don't think we've seen that since he's come over. Like not have an off day throughout the whole week. And I wonder if some of that maybe had to do with like there wasn't a day game. You know, like those like if there wasn't like a day game after a night game,
Yeah.
other than today. But he's now trotted out the same lineup um, on 3 separate occasions, 4 after today. Cruz, Reynolds, Kutch, Valdez, Bart, Hayes, Frazier, Pham, IKF. That lineup has now been played 4 different times, which I don't think last year he played a lineup 4 times all year. Let me just double check. Uh, he didn't. He never used a lineup last year more than twice. This year, he's used that one 4 times now.
And it's working to an extent. Guys are starting to get a little more comfortable.
It's
So
working to
we
an extent. Yeah, I mean, I would agree. The offense has been a little bit better this last week than it was prior. It still goes through its stretches where it's just non-existent, but I think that's just because 'cause
Sure.
they've got bad players filling out half of that lineup.
Right. So we're getting somewhat close to the end of our time here tonight, but do we have a Skeens Davis connection right now? Is he gonna be Skeens's almost like personal catcher?
Maybe.
Because he's caught the
Um,
last 3 or 4 of his starts.
well, what was it? He came in one of them after an injury, and then I think he's taken the last 2, right? So, but I mean, yeah,
Skeens has
maybe,
looked
and
pretty good.
he's looked pretty good in those. I mean, I'm not really like a catcher's ERA kind of I'm not a catcher's ERA believer, you know? Um,
Okay.
but it's good. So, I mean, that's something. I whoever I don't think Skeens really cares who he's throwing to. But if he's comfortable with Davis and Davis is comfortable catching him, I'll say this: Davis is the best framer on the team right now, which I don't think any of us would have imagined us saying at this point in the
Right.
season. So, you probably want your best framer out there with your best pitcher. Probably want your best framer out there more than he's been out there, but
So
you
let,
can't really
let
take
me let
Bart's
me
bat out of the lineup.
right. Let me ask you this. You're pitching, you're pitching to person X and you throw a curveball or a slider and they miss it. Hits off the glove, they don't block it, whatever. You throw that to another catcher, he does block it, he does catch it, it doesn't bounce. You'd rather throw to guy number 2, right? I see
Yeah,
Bart drop a lot of balls.
yeah, that is a good point. You do want your catcher catching the ball. That's a
You feel
pretty it's
more
a pretty
comfortable to throw
important.
your pitches.
Yeah.
I would
I
feel better
still
throwing
think
my pitch and having it land where I want it to land and knowing confidently that my catcher is going to make the play. So I
yeah,
feel free to grip it and rip it.
yeah.
That's
I'll
why
say
I
I
am a
think
believer in the pitcher catcher relationship. But
so I'm a believer in the pitcher catcher relationship. I'm not a believer that catcher ERA is a thing.
I got you.
Like
I got
there's
you.
like a stat out
That's
there
fair.
where like the ERA when a catcher is catching, I don't believe in that stat. Um like I think that is solely on the pitcher and the defense behind him as opposed to the catcher. But the pitcher catcher relationship is definitely a thing. I know when I
Yeah.
was pitching back in high school, I preferred throwing to a particular catcher over another. But it also
Yeah.
didn't mean like when the other catcher was in there, it didn't change anything I was doing. It was just a preference.
I was blessed in college with catchers. Our catchers were we had 2 catchers that were really good. In high school, slim pickings, good luck. So I just threw whatever, and just hope they caught it. But I don't know. I feel like I think there definitely was in summer ball when I was playing up in Pittsburgh in summer ball. I definitely feel like there was one catcher that I would much rather throw to than the other. And I felt like my stuff was better when he was back there. Just because I had more confidence.
Yeah. But, so maybe it just depends on the pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that pretty much wraps us up here. So the LA trip overall 3-3 could have been better. We were in all of them except that last one. Today, Monday, we do have off. Then we have the Cubs and Padres at home. They are all TBDs for our pitchers, and there's my best guess after a little tiny bit of research is we're going to have Heaney versus Imanaga on Tuesday. Wednesday, question mark Majinski. I'm hoping not. Hoping there's a move to be made there versus Matthew Boyd. Thursday it would look like it would be Skeens Day versus Tyon Walker. So Cubs are hot. They're really hot, outscoring their opponents by 1 billion. But hey, we at least have Skeens Day to look forward to.
Yeah. I feel like Imanaga has done fairly well against the Pirates too in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Just a nasty splitter, kind of similar to what we saw with Sasaki on Saturday. That splitter, I know the last time we faced him, at least one of the times last year, just couldn't touch it. So yeah, it should be a good series. Imanaga Heaney, I mean, you've got the best left-handed pitcher in Major League Baseball going up against Shota Imanaga on Tuesday.
I love it. Listen, after his last outing,
I like it.
Sheesh. So yeah, Jim, it's been great talking some Buccos with you tonight. We appreciate you stepping in for Josh while he's down for the count and recovering. Any last thoughts before we shut it down?
No, it's a big week. It's a big week. 2 really good teams coming into Pittsburgh, and you've got to at least tread water here for a little bit longer. You don't want to get buried in these standings because right now you're 14th out of 15 in the National League. You can't really get worse than that at this point because I don't think anybody's touching the Rockies, but you got to start digging your way out of that.
Yeah. Josh, you can go ahead and start the music. He says you got to tell me when you want it. Hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight. The chat's been on fire tonight. We appreciate every one of you for chiming in. It's very much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet so you can keep an eye out for our daily shows starting back up whenever Josh's voice gets back, or maybe I'll pipe in on one or something. We'll see. But get those notifications, and hey, let's go Bucs.
Let's go Bucs. See you guys.
Thanks for listening to my dad and Uncle Jake on the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2Buctober. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when new episodes are released. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucs.